Yes, y'all. Welcome in to episode 63 of the Dumb Marks podcast, your favorite Saturday brunch bunch. The best four-man booth in the business is back at it again on a beautiful Saturday morning in Pittsburgh. The sun is out, not a cloud in the sky. A little warm weather. The calm before the snowstorm this week, guys. It's coming.
39 warm weather.
Hey, it's getting up to mid-50s. People that look like me will be out in t-shirt and shorts because it's above 50 degrees this time of year. Like you know you're gonna see it. Like it's bound to happen. You might even see it if it's above 45 this time of year. You see people with t-shirt and shorts on. But we good, everybody good week. I know we hopped on last night. Thanks to everybody that tuned in for the special edition of the Dumb Marks After Dark. Broke down Survivor Series pay-per-view last night. So head on over to our YouTube channel to check that video out, get you everything you need and more for Survivor Series tomorrow night. But everybody good since we last spoke about 12 hours ago?
Tired.
Yeah. Yep. Tired. Yeah. We have to send out an apology, first things first, to get the show. So last week we talked, pickup lines and what's the worst pickup line you ever used, and it actually worked. Donald, I think yours takes the cake accordingly.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. But we said we were going to throw out polls on social media to get feedback from you guys so we can come on here and read them off. And because we're dumb marks, we forgot to do that. So we apologize. We will definitely throw that up this week on social media to get people's opinions and thoughts on that. So we'll follow back up next week with that and touch base. But no, everything's good. Saturday before Thanksgiving. If you're going out Wednesday night partying, good luck to you. Be safe.
Be safe.
Yeah. If you're traveling, T's and P's, because it's supposed to be the worst travel day in like the history of America because of how many flights are it's just going to be a disaster. So if you're flying somewhere, hopefully everything goes good for you and you're able to get to your destination for Thanksgiving. So yeah, there's that. What do you guys want to get into this week?
Anybody got anything to start off?
I love the energy from you guys this morning. It's fucking amazing. Like, Jesus, no wonder why our ratings are tanking faster than NXT 2.0. Man, y'all got to come with the energy, dude. Drink some espresso or something. Come up with it. See, now I'm gonna have to go grumpy on you because
it's Saturday morning, man.
Sitting there, Saturday morning, dude.
Saturday morning.
Oh, you were already gonna go grumpy. We know that. That was gonna happen. The four of us are gonna be together for 2 hours and you don't go grumpy.
Have you ever seen me above this level?
No. Who snorted? Who just snorted? Was that Jay?
I'll probably be laughing.
Terrible. All right.
I threw up a thing last week on Facebook that was poorly explain what you do for a job. So do you guys want to poorly explain what you do, or you want me to read through some first?
I can tell you mine. I'm a professional box cutter in daytime. That's all I do. That's all I do is cut boxes all day.
You're 2 for 2, my friend. You had the pickup line of the year, and that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
People say fuck it, and I fix it.
That's not bad either. Not bad either.
The one that got for me, which is why I posted it. I saw someone. This was somebody else's answer, but it fit for me. It was, I purchase things to arrive at a specific time that never arrive at a specific time. It's like, yeah, that is my job doing tea right now.
Man, I don't even know where to go with mine right now.
You're still so new that it probably hasn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it hasn't hit in yet. Before it would be, no, I'm not going to do that because that'll ruffle feathers. So I'm not going to say that with the previous job. Yeah, I'll pass this week. I'm not going to participate in that. Get myself in trouble, but yeah. So So be sure to chime in. We'll throw up on social media this week. Worst pickup lines you've ever used. Women out there, we want to hear what's the worst pickup line you ever heard, and if you're throwing pickup lines out there, what's the pickup line you throw at dudes? It don't take much for girls. I mean, it's kind of an easy thing to get the attention, but whatever, shoot your shot. I mean, and guys, don't be afraid to shoot your shot because Pete Davidson bagged Kim Kardashian. So, I mean, there's two things as to why Pete Davidson got Kim K. He's funny and he must be packing a hammer because his lineup of past relationships are like top tier, most outkick your coverage lineup I think I've seen.
Who's Pete Davidson?
And that is the show, folks.
I don't know who the hell he is.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You don't watch anything that's comedy based, so you have no idea.
On SNL, Donald.
Oh, there you go. That's why I don't know him.
Best response
ever. Who's Pete Davidson?
He was in Suicide Squad, but he lasted so.
Yeah, he was in Suicide Squad too. He was the dude that ran up on the beach that turned everybody against. He was a distraction dude that snitched out everybody.
Yeah,
got
blown up to pieces. Yeah, he got blown up to pieces instantly. 2 minutes into the movie. All right, what do we got for Smash or Trash this week?
So before we start with Smash or Trash, I think.
Oh, hold on. Before you do what you're about to do, Donald, I got a bone to pick with the fellow chubby guy in the bottom right hand corner. A couple of weeks ago, we announced the new restaurant in Swissvale, Regent Square area called Smash Waffles. Right?
We did.
We all talked about it, and we all said, "Hey, let's all go. We'll try everything out together. We'll do a little Dumb Marks live video recap, get the order, get the box, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be." And this fellow fat kid in the bottom right-hand corner decided to go off by himself and say, screw the Restians, and go to Smash Waffles by himself, and then had the nerve to tweet the picture of the box of the variety of waffles that he proceeded to purchase and eat all by himself. So that is a major strike
stretching the truth
on my level.
A little bit, but.
Nope. Listen. You don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, and I'm telling a good story right now, so I'm gonna embellish the shit out of it. Yeah, how you gonna leave us hanging, and you just go by yourself, and then hey, look at what I got. This is hey guys, check it out. Look at this.
Well, I'm pretty sure I did that because it was to get y'all off your asses and let's head over there because it's been about a month.
A text would have been. Hey, listen.
Yeah. Get off your asses. Let's go.
And you wait in the middle of the week. Like you didn't even wait for a weekend to be like, hey, let's run up there. No, it was like on a random Tuesday. You just, I'm gonna go because it's 2 minutes away from my house.
My sister was off, so she texted me. She goes, I'm going to stop up that Smash Waffles. You want to go? Just like, yeah.
Oh, so you throw your sister under the bus for your flagrant disregard of the friendship that we have on this show and in real life, and you just blame it on your sister.
Yeah.
So, Steph, if you're listening, it's all your fault.
It is 100% her fault.
Okay. All right. Good to know. All right.
So
but no, I
just
wanted to get that off my chest. Next time I come across a nice new restaurant that I think everybody should go to, guess who I'm not inviting? That guy right there in the bottom right hand. So yeah, so there's that. All right, I got the grievance off my chest. I've been bottling that up and keeping it inside since you sent the text over with the picture. So it's festered for a couple days, but there it is.
All right, Donald, that for Festivus.
Nah. There it is.
These guys, amazing. I went to the store at 8:00 in the morning, and my hand has not left the bag since.
It is the most delicious combination of surprise and enjoyment I've I've seen Jay got a bag, Donald got a bag. I got yelled at yesterday. My wife yelled at me, "You're gonna ruin dinner by eating it," and I was like, "It's worth it. I don't even care at this point." So now I gotta wait until she falls asleep later to finish the bag, and then I can tuck it at the bottom of the garbage can so she doesn't realize that it's gone.
So now who's left out? The three of y'all have this popcorn, and one guy doesn't.
No, we talked about it last night. I just found it last night. I told you about it last night. Donald did the right thing, got up this morning, brushed his teeth, put on a hoodie, and went and bought a bag. You decided not to do that, so that's on you. That's not on us. That's on you.
I told you about it last year.
Yeah. Jay told us 12 months ago, but he didn't remind us and went and ate a bag by himself already. So technically we can get mad at him for not bringing it up again.
Ooh. When they say limited edition, I'm thinking it's going for life.
Very true.
You just don't bring shit back.
So yeah, no, if you're out and about at the grocery stores this week, pick that up. You guys will not be disappointed. That's really good. I grabbed a caramel apple cinnamon bag this morning. I figure, for Thanksgiving, kind of put that out in a bowl and let people snack on it while we're waiting for turkey and everything else to get done. So I grabbed that. But,
you put it in a bowl and just
put it out there like chips and just let people grab it while snacking throughout the day while we're waiting for the meal to come.
You keep to yourself. You don't.
See, you're stingy.
You don't want to your head. Not nigga shit. You give them the regular popcorn.
So you're going to be thankful for being stingy and not sharing with people. That's what you're going to do?
Hell yeah. You always had the good stuff.
That's why we are with the way we are with some things, because people like you decide to be stingy and not share the wealth. Just like, I mean,
that waffle guy?
Like Smash Waffle guy in the bottom right hand corner. Exactly.
We should just go around the floor.
Exactly.
Keep on passing the buck.
Hey, that's politics, baby. We just keep handling back and forth between each other. So, all right, what do we got for Smash or Trash this week as far as new topics go?
We just got a couple this week. Pringles, part of their Scorchin' Wavy series, is coming out with a loaded nachos.
Smash.
I'll smash those.
I haven't had any of the Scorchin', so I don't know if they're really hot or if they're just average or what. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is coming out with Cinna Graham Toast Crunch. So like graham cracker.
Trash.
Smash.
I'll smash.
Canada Dry, they came out with a bold ginger ale not too long ago. For the holidays, they're coming out with vanilla bean bold ginger ale.
Trash.
So Canada Dry, I grabbed the variety, the winter pack that they come out with that they sell at like Sam's Club and Costco and that. So it has the regular, the cranberry, and the blackberry in it. So those three are just delicious to drink by themselves. And then when you add in some liquor to the equation, they really go good. They have a vanilla cream soda one that I've only found in one spot in the area in like a 20-ounce bottle, and it is the best ginger ale I've ever had in my entire life. So I might give the vanilla bean a chance because of what they did with the cream soda one.
I like the bold ginger ale because it tastes more like ginger beer than ginger ale, just the stronger flavor. So if you grab that, you still got that Terramana. You can make some mules. Yeah,
be good to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Guys like Mello, don't miss.
Yeah. Shoot your shot, like Pete Davidson. Donald, Google him. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I'll pass.
One that I know we're really not going to be interested, but I just want to throw it up for the holidays. Red Vines is coming out with a gingerbread licorice.
Smash.
Absolutely not. Red Vines are trash. They should be scorched off the face of the earth, like them and candy corn. Just get rid of it. Throw it all away. It's terrible.
Red Vines are good.
And last one for the holidays.
Eating red vines is like eating Hunt's ketchup. It doesn't work. Throw it away. It's garbage. It's Twizzlers and Heinz, not red vines and Hunt's. That's the comparison there.
It's a good comparison.
Garbage.
All right, for the holidays, Dairy Queen is coming back with its frozen hot chocolate. So, kind of sounds like what's the difference between a hot chocolate and a chocolate shake? This one's supposed to be a cocoa fudge mixed with their soft serve plus more fudge, whipped cream, and more fudge sauce.
Smash.
Yes, and yes. That's not even up for debate. That's a definite smash.
And they still have the Frosty cones?
I don't know if they still do those or not.
Okay. I would love all that in the Frosty cone.
I can't tell you the last time I actually went to Dairy Queen.
No. That's all I had for Smash or Trash this week.
All right. Well, that's it for the intro. Let's get into Bell to Bell. All right. This week in pro wrestling, busy week. We covered we covered WWE last night on the prediction show, like I said, to kick off the top of the broadcast today. So go on over to YouTube, check that video out. One thing that we didn't really touch on last night was NXT 2.0. We went over it briefly, but Tuesday night was their lowest rated show, and they fell outside of the top 50 in the 18 to 49 demographic for all of cable programming on Tuesday night.
Okay.
How much trouble is NXT 2.0 in?
It's probably going to keep going that way.
Probably a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Because USA is not going to keep a show on TV at that time slot for it to keep losing ratings like that.
The average
depends on what like NCIS and stuff brings in normally. If they dip below those, they'll just throw on reruns.
The median age watching NXT 2.0 on Tuesday night was 62 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So your median age is 62 and you're outside the top 50 in 18 to 49 demo. That's not good programming. I don't care what type of content you're throwing out there.
That's odd. That's an odd demo to have for that show.
Man,
and it's been like NXT 2.0 since they rebranded it. It had ups and it had downs, and the downs, unfortunately, this week were super, super down. The Texas Hold'em All In.
That could have been another page. That could have been another skit.
They put a poker table in the middle of the ring and actually played a hand of Texas Hold'em. That's a real life thing that happened in wrestling in 2021.
DX did that in the 90s.
But Texas Hold'em hasn't been huge in how many years? Like, if this would have been around the time when Chris Moneymaker and all that blew up and poker was on ESPN nonstop and everybody and their mother were playing Hold'em at bars and tournaments and people's houses, like, okay, it makes sense for the time, but you're 20 years late, 15 years late. And it was the most unnecessary thing to get to the end of what they got to. Like,
I mean, you knew where it was going.
100% knew where it was going, right? Like, but yeah, so that was like the lowest of lows where I was like, all right, I think I'm going to check out on this show after this. Like, I can't do it.
It might have been like that lashing out, even though whatever Grayson said, I didn't mind. He cut it like decent promo. That whole lashing out thing got to go too.
Yeah, that's not really working.
Yeah, no.
Tony D'Angelo and Dexter Lumis had a 3-minute match that ended with an eye poke and a roll up.
That sounds about right.
Ciampa cut a really good promo. Really good promo. Braun came out. So, like I said last week, War Games. Yeah, War Games, you're going to get the old guard versus the new guard for War Games for the men, which we talked about last week. It's just a matter of, I think it's going to be Ciampa, Gargano, Lumis, and I don't know who would be a fourth. If they're only doing one cage because it's just one ring and they're not able to do 2 rings based on the setup, then I think you should do 4v4, like the women's side. So I don't know who the fourth man would be for the old guard. Probably Pete Dunne, maybe, potentially. The new guys. No, I think Joe's going to be more
O'Reilly.
backstage. Like, him and Von Wagner are in that weird tag team thing right now. Like, so I don't know who the fourth would be. The new generation, you would have Braun, Carmelo, probably Trick, just because he's with Carmelo. And then I don't know who you would get as a fourth there. The women's side is basically set.
Would you put Waller in there?
Yeah, you could go Waller because Ciampa is fighting Waller this week and called him out in his promo. So, yeah, I could see that being the fourth.
Yeah.
You have those four. The women's side is basically set. You have Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai. Then you have Io, Raquel, Jade, and I don't know who the fourth would be for the babyface women's team.
I thought they would have put Casey and Caden in there, but
that's what I thought too. But and what is up with it? They have a raver gimmick where they just go to raves and bang on Neo glow sticks, and that's like what their gimmick is.
They could have stayed with what they were.
So they're like hippie rave characters where they go to festivals, which really tone deaf on WWE's part to launch a festival vignette, given everything that happened with Travis Scott and just the week before.
Hey,
so you should have edited that out or not aired it the week after. So just another tone deaf thing that they've done.
They're in that bubble, man. That's it.
Yeah, so it was bad, but yeah, to be outside the top 50 in the demo, that's really worrisome, I should say. All right, anything from NXT 2.0? No? All right, so then let's get into AEW. Coming off the heels of Full Gear, I want to share something with you guys. So everybody loves the Meltzer ratings, right?
Jason's a huge fan of them.
Meltzer's ratings for each match at Full Gear. MJF Darby Allin, 4.5 stars. FTR Lucha Bros, 4.25 stars. Danielson and Miro, 4.5 stars. Cody, Pac, Andrade Black, 4 stars. Baker and Conti, 3.5. CM Punk and Kingston, 4.5. Inner Circle versus America Top Team, 4. Hangman versus Omega, 5.5 stars. And then the Super Click versus Jurassic Express and Christian, 5 stars.
No. The first 3 matches you read off were the best 3 matches of the night.
We said it when we were watching the show together that the whole middle of that pay-per-view just turned and fell off. Like, not saying that they weren't great matches. I don't think any of those matches were as good as this.
No.
You know?
Yeah, the what was it? The 3-on-3 that slowed everything down. That because that went on way too long, so that just started to slow it down. And
he gave it 5 stars.
No,
it was good. It was just too.
It was good. It was too long. If they would have wrapped that up, 8 to 10 minutes sooner, then I would be like, okay, cool, 5 stars. Yeah, I'm on board with that. But it just kept going and going and going.
5-star match, but yeah, it's
Inner Circle versus Top Team got a 4.
Hell no.
No.
I was sleeping during that match, so that tells you about it.
MJF and Darby, that was, for me, that was match of the night.
I agree.
Watching it live. Lucha Bros FTR was good.
Yeah.
They did the finish where they pinned the wrong guy. They brought that up on Dynamite this week, and it led to the continuation, which we'll get coming up here. So I'm good with that. 4.25. I'm okay with that rating. Danielson and Miro 4.5. Yep, I'm okay with that. Even though the ending, the finish was a little it looked a little wonky. I don't know if Miro took the DDT wrong or whatever. But I'm okay with that.
Same thing with the MJF Darby match. I mean, that finish wasn't great, but the match itself, you know, was what it was, and it delivered.
And Hangman Omega 5.5.
That's because Kenny Omega's in it. That's the only reason why.
Was it better than their match last year at Full Gear in the Eliminator Final?
I'd have to go back and rewatch it.
I saw that and I'm like, this dude's giving out star ratings like this pay-per-view took place in the Tokyo Dome. Like, what is happening right now?
I don't even know. Even the best matches, I don't know if I'd even say that they were all 4 and over. You know, they were good matches, but especially the main event. It was a good main event. By that point, the crowd was kind of out of the whole show, but it was a good main event. But it wasn't 5-star worthy.
Yeah, I don't.
Even I think he has the women's match ranked too high. The women's match was just off. I like both of them, but it was not a good night in the ring for either of them.
It was, I mean, they had their rough spots.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Ty continued to find ways to get out of the lockjaw, you know, with different counters and that. I thought that was good. That played into her jiu-jitsu background, and, you know, because she is a legit, you know, jiu-jitsu black belt and whatnot. So like that played into her background and knowing counters and how to use body weight against your opponent and everything else. So I thought that was good from that standpoint. But yeah, there were some things in there that you know looked a little rough and clunky at times. But yeah, I couldn't believe that everything was, you know, 3.5 was the lowest star rating for that entire card. So
now, was Cody and Pac good? Because I checked out.
That's where the pay-per-view for me started to slow down and drag. Yeah. That's where it started to turn.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, it was the match before, but that continued it on. And it was even then the next up was the women's match. I didn't feel like that brought the crowd back in, or I thought that kind of continued with the momentum. CM Punk and Eddie Kingston, the crowd got back into it. Yeah, they tried. Was the match great? It was okay.
Okay, yeah.
I expected better from the two of them, but the match after that, the Inner Circle stuff was what it was. That was another match that went on way too long. Almost a 20-minute match that should have been on for 10 at tops.
That match was worthy of Dynamite, not a pay-per-view.
100% agree.
Yeah.
All right, so since you brought up Dynamite, let's get into Dynamite Wednesday night. I thought the Fallout show, I thought it was a really good show Wednesday night. Booking-wise, start to finish, was really good. Each segment touched on something. Each segment, you know, gave, you know, either a continuation of a storyline or brought up a new storyline. The in-ring work was good Wednesday night. So I thought top to bottom, it was one of their stronger shows that they had on Wednesday night. Which is what you want to see coming out of a pay-per-view. You know, we talked on our prediction show that I said, you know, I would have Miro win, you know, Hangman celebrating him take Hangman out. Chris, you brought up having Miro win, but doing it Wednesday in Virginia to get the heat on Miro and take out Hangman while he's celebrating in his hometown. After I saw that, I tweeted it out live as I was watching the show. After that segment there with Danielson, I'm all in on him and Hangman going forward. Like, and people were like, "Oh, the heel turn! Oh, the heel turn!" I'm like, was it really a heel turn though? Or is it just
gotta wait and see?
Or is it him just being like the cocky, confident pro wrestler? You know what I mean? Like, not heel turn, like, yo, I'm the baddest pro wrestler in this company. So I'm gonna talk my shit because my walk can back up what I talk.
Him being in Virginia, you know, it wasn't gonna make sense for him to come out and try to get cheered, because that probably wasn't going to happen with Hangman being out there. So,
but somebody brought up a good point, and it was they said he's been planting seeds as a heel since he came into the company. And I thought about it for a second, and they followed it up their argument with, well, he praised WWE. He didn't bash WWE when he came in.
No.
And if you're praising WWE as somebody that worked there, that like grew your star power and everything else, the Yes Movement, the whole 9 yards, like, and you come into AEW and you're praising WWE from the AEW hardcore fan base, you should be a heel. Like, you're working that angle. So I don't know if it's been that entire time, you know what I mean? But I thought their back and forth on Wednesday night was tremendous. Hangman with the whole, I beat Kenny Omega and I didn't need 30 minutes to do it.
Yeah, it was a good line.
You know, Danielson, I guess being champion doesn't mean you wrestle. When I won the title at WrestleMania, I wrestled the very next night. Like,
and that got booed.
Yeah, you throw out WrestleMania in front of that AEW crowd, like, you're gonna get booed. Like, I just thought it was very well done. And then
it was different because usually Dynamite doesn't start out with a talking segment. You know, generally they start with a match, and that was a good talking segment to start the night with.
Well, but they opened up before that with the Bucks Cody, or the Bucks Hangman, or the Bucks Omega and Cole backstage.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny taking time off. He's legit hurt, has been for a really long time. So probably going to need shoulder surgery. Say that 5 times fast. He didn't want to get it. He wanted to hold it off so that they could finish the storyline with Hangman. So kudos to him for going out and wrestling the way he has with his shoulder. And that could be why we haven't seen as much Kenny Omega in the ring with the title as we thought we would have. Remember, we talked last week, like, how memorable is this run for him? Well, that could have played into a fact as to why we didn't see the run we thought we were going to whenever he won the belt. But I love what they did there, what they set up there. With the whole, I'm taking time off, hold down the fort, and Adam Cole going, don't worry, buddy, I got it. And he's like, no, I'm not talking to you. I was talking to the Bucks. Like, planting the seeds there where you're going to have, you know, Cole and the Bucks on one side, Kenny and the Bucks on the other. Like, that's a story they could tell there. You add in Bobby Fish to the equation. Again, you're adding, you know, touching on the whole Undisputed Era tie-in compared versus with the Super Elite. So Kenny comes back. You have Kenny and the Bucks. You already have Fish and Cole there. O'Reilly's contract is up in December. And you bring him in there and you have 3v3 there that you can run with storylines. So I like how they did that, planting seeds for stuff down the line that you can see later on, not rushing it. So there was that. The Hangman.
I liked Fish in the backstage segment whenever he did the last line. He tried to do that's undisputed. And they cut him off like, no, you can't say that.
Yeah, Matt Jackson was like, no, you can't do that here. Then they after that, then they played MJF's promo after the match at Full Gear with Darby, and fucking like 10 out of 10, dude. He hit everything in that promo, like he does. And then he followed it up later on in the night and cut another great promo, which drew out CM Punk. Now, do you think they're rushing that and throwing that out there too soon? Having Punk versus MJF?
Donald.
I don't think it's too soon. It's just CM better not go over on MJF and cool his jets. If he does, he's nothing but Kevin Nash in WCW. Nothing else. So they're gonna let this man. So they're just gonna let this man just run through the whole roster.
Do you like the way that Punk handled it on Wednesday night?
Oh, I didn't mind that, with him not even saying a word or anything.
Yeah, not saying a word. The smirk, the little chuckle, turning his back and walking right out the ring. MJF looking at his hand like, did that just fucking happen? Like,
I'll be good. Yep, I'll be good with all of that. Just he better not win. He better not cool the jets of MJF because they want to see a legend get a win. Then what the hell is building for the future? Then all this 4 pillar talks.
Well, the 4 pillars were in effect on Wednesday night. You could see that in and of itself. So I thought that was good interaction. Ring wise, work wise, match wise, Jay Lethal and Sammy absolutely tore the house down in the main event. You forget how underrated, like, I don't want to say underrated Lethal is, but seeing him on national television and like watching him, if you haven't watched Ring of Honor, like he's a pro's pro in the ring and can go. And Sammy to me he's like on a rocket ship right now. To me, he's somebody that you can put the strap on later on down the line as the heavyweight champion.
They hooked me in that match. I thought there was a few times where I was just like, I think they're going to put the title on Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially as it was getting closer to that cutoff time. It's like either this match is going to end. As it got closer, I thought maybe this match is just going to end at a draw or something, a time limit draw. But
yeah, when Sammy went for the dive outside the table and missed
he
it,
hit that perfect.
Like the margin for error there is so small. Like to hit it the way he hit it versus what could go wrong in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
And like when that happened, I'm like, that's when they really like hooked me into it. Like, okay, he's gonna roll him back in the ring. He's gonna, hit lethal injection, and that'll be the end of it. So yeah, but
that was one thing I noticed. You saying lethal injection. Jay Lethal went for it and said, like if he would say that he's about to hit that move, the crowd would just go crazy in Ring of Honor. The AEW crowd really wasn't in on that, so it's just like there's a little more room for him to grow there.
Right.
I think he'll do fine AEW.
What do you think of the backlash that his signing got based off of the allegations that were against him in the past when the whole Me Too Speak Out movement?
I didn't even know there was allegations against him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are. I saw a lot of that Sunday night when he came out at the pay-per-view. There was a lot online there. There was a lot Wednesday night during the timeline talking about, JR saying how, if you don't know who Jay Lethal is, you're sure going to be a fan of his now. And people were like, absolutely not, this and that and the other. So, like, you see it with Darby, too, with stuff with Darby with allegations that he had. So I don't know if that's going to be something that the more time goes on, the louder they get, the more they pull back on having Lethal out there. I don't know. But I mean, from a wrestling in the ring standpoint, I'm not taking into account anything of the man and the character and alleged allegations outside of the ring. Like, he absolutely hooked you in the ring on Wednesday night in that main event.
I think sometimes
I'll be back.
People affect it, they do it to who they want to keep that with. Because look at Riddle on Raw. People don't keep bringing up Riddle's past. They overlook that with him.
Well, they did for a minute. There was time there where it was loud and heavy. Especially when his wife went off talking about him leaving his family and everything else. Like, then it got louder. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if that comes into play later on down the line with anything. But I thought Dynamite top to bottom was a really good show. Which led into Rampage last night. Oh, and we didn't even touch on
what?
Before Rampage, Jay, we had this argument back and forth with the TBS tournament versus the Queen's Crown tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday night, Sheeta versus Nyla. Really good match. Them two have good chemistry together with each other. But they continued the storyline and continue to give you stuff to where it's not just matches thrown together in a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Serena Deeb came out towards the end of that match, got involved, did something to Sheeta on the apron where she, landed on her knee on the apron or whatever, and that's how Nyla ended up winning by putting her in the stretch muffler and making her tap. So Deeb got involved again with that, continued that on. So and it's just stories progressing through it, and it's not just we're throwing these together. Like I thought Jade and Red Velvet was a decent match. I don't think it was as good as their first match together. Jade's getting better in the ring. The size difference there, the little versus the big, like we've seen that play out in pro wrestling forever. I thought they played into it well last night. That standing, instead of her doing the fall away slam last night where she just picked her up and just threw her over with a back bend and hit it, like that was different, which made it look gave it a different look to it, which made it feel like more devastating move than just a regular fall away slam would. But yeah, I think the tournament for me, it's delivering on story. Matches, not all the matches have been fantastic, but I think the quarterfinals and the semis you'll get better work rate as far as in ring based off of who's involved in those matches.
Yeah.
Red and
Jade's match last night. I think she still has room to grow, and I'm hoping Thunder Rosa knocks her out because I don't think Jade's quite there yet to be going towards the final or even take the title.
Yeah, that was going to be the weakest quarterfinal just because of the two women in it against each other. Like, I figured Nyla and Sheeta would be a good match. You can say what you will about Nyla. I know she's not everybody's cup of tea, but those two have good matches when they're in the ring together. I think Ruby and Chris Statlander is going to be really good based off of the work rate of those two. And then I think Jamie Hayter, Thunder Rosa is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
would you put it on a veteran to legitimize it or an up and comer?
See, that's me personally, I would put it on Ruby, and I would have Thunder come out of it and go after Britt.
Mm-hmm.
I would have Britt cost Thunder Rosa the match this week, so Jamie advances. Because Britt's coming, she's had the belt since May. Like, I know she's Britt Baker and we all love her in DMD, but at some point, like, her run's going to be up. So I think you can start to push that story towards Revolution and have Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker against each other at Revolution. So I would put it on Ruby. Out of the women that are left, I would go with Ruby Soho.
I'd say whoever you want to be the next big star. If you want to be Ruby to be the next one after Britt, like to be the big champ, then that's who you put on. Have this grow them and kind of get over.
I mean, Britt, given the fact that she is quote unquote a heel, and that, to me, the only person to take the belt off of her, given past storyline and everything else, and what would draw the most money is her versus Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
So I would, whether they cost Thunder Rosa tonight or she beats Jamie Hayter, but Jamie Hayter causes her to lose in the finals, like something, you know what I mean, to draw Thunder back into that world with Britt, and they're off and running. And like I said, you build that towards your Revolution main event for the women's belt. And have Thunder, beat Britt there. I'd be okay with that. Or, they don't go with that now and they leave the belt on Britt until Double or Nothing, and she's there for a year and Thunder takes it off her there. But to me, that's the next person that should get the women's belt is Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
So Revolution isn't your strongest, if you're ranking the pay-per-views, Revolution isn't like, it's not Double or Nothing and it's not All Out.
Mm-hmm. It's the last of the four.
Yeah, even though it's the first one of the year, you know what I mean? Like
that's their Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, yeah. So that's what I would go. I go with Ruby. I agree. Jade will get there, but I don't think Jade's ready for it yet. Because you want it to be a legitimate title, and you want it to be something that work rate wise, at least this is the way that I'm doing it, because I'm comparing it to the TNT title and looked at how they've booked that and who has held that. And if you're going to book it the same way and make it just as important, because that TNT belt does have meaning and it is important. It's been involved in big matches. It's main evented shows last Wednesday. Then yeah, you would put it on somebody that can actually work in the ring and not be as unpolished as they are from time to time. Because to me, Jade needs the right person in the ring with her. And we saw that was evident last night, where Red Velvet's not, she's not Ruby. She's not Thunder. She's not Britt, We saw that with the triple threat that they had, where it was Thunder Rosa, Nyla, and Jade. And that was a little better showing, but even with those two in the ring with her, you could tell she still needs time, So, but yeah, I'd go with Ruby out of the women that are left.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they wait until the TBS shifts over to crown it? Because you're the quarterfinals now. Unless you do it at Winter is Coming, because that's a big show.
I do it the week before.
Timeline wise, that would make sense.
You said do it the week before, Jason.
Yeah, and then have like the coronation or whatever you call it on the main or on the TNT show.
On the TBS show when they switch over on the 5th.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it on there. I just think, it kind of gives at least a title change. Even though it's winning the title, but give something big for that show.
Yeah. Was that anything else from Dynamite or Rampage that caught your eyes? Something you're most interested in? Something they didn't do right?
Billy Gunn had his contractually obligated one match of the year. That wasn't needed. That was the only thing I didn't care about on Rampage last night.
I thought they told a good story with that match.
Forgettable.
The size difference is just unbelievable. Yeah. And Billy Gunn looked average in WWE.
It's true.
So, you know what I mean? He looked average in WWE. Now, granted, his body has changed because he's doing professional bodybuilding and that. So, it looks different. But just from a sheer height and, he looks like a giant in AEW. Darby obviously is what he is, so I maybe the size differences looked that much more last night because Darby's only 160, 170. But yeah, Billy Gunn just looked.
Did he look
massive.
bigger as a Smoking Guns than he did as Badass Billy Gunn?
I thought Smoking Guns, he didn't look that big.
Yeah, I thought he looked smaller there too.
Yeah. Because I thought about because during Smoking Guns, I thought Bart was bigger than him.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely packed on more muscle as his career went on.
Yeah.
All right, so that's AEW for the week. Tonight we have Impact Wrestling has a special on Impact Plus app called Turning Point, and we'll run through that card real quick. Give our winners and losers for each match. This past Thursday night, Josh Alexander versus Minoru Suzuki. Go seek it out, find it. Tremendous match. Alexander went over clean. It was really, really good. One of my favorite Suzuki matches that he's had I won't say it was good as him and Brian, but it's probably my number 2 out of what he's had since he's been in the States wrestling wise.
Man, making his rounds. He made his rounds.
They're definitely setting up Okada to come into AEW.
For who? Who do you think he's going against?
Well, they got Chaos announced in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
They added that into it. You had Ishii on Wednesday night out there with Rocky Romero and then Best Friends, who are, members of Chaos, that they got added in. And Okada is in the States, or supposed to be coming to the States. No, he's already here because he wrestled already.
Wrestled last weekend.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be a big. Maybe you see him show up on Winter is Coming.
That'll be good.
Like you got Sting last year. You get Okada coming through the Forbidden Door.
Wouldn't be long because he'd have to go back over for the Dome show on the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you have December 12th is Winter is Coming, or 15th, something like that,
15th.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Show up, issue a challenge, fight next week, then go on.
Yep. Because Japan changed their vaccine, their quarantine rules, so they dropped it from 2 weeks down to 3 days, so that could get more people going back and forth now. Because that quarantining for 2 weeks put really can't really do much. Yeah, you get when you fly in, you got to be in quarantine for 3 days.
Oh, okay,
yeah. But yeah, I think that's where that's going with him coming in the AEW. So, do you got the Impact card? Because if not, I can read off something else.
I got it up.
Okay.
Do you want me to go match by match?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I got 2 matches on the pre-show. The first one is for the Impact Digital Media Championship. Champion Jordan Grace versus Chelsea Green.
These were the 2 people that I believe all 4 of us picked one or the other to win the belt when they had the Battle Royal for it at Bound for Glory. I'll go Jordan Grace here, even though I wanted Chelsea to be the first ever champion with it. Jordan's been good with it on social media so far. She did the Shawn Michaels pose pick with the belt, which was a nice callback to that. So yeah, but this will be a good match. Both of them can work and both of them can go in the ring. So I'm all in on watching that match.
Grace.
Yeah.
Clean sweep there. Okay.
Finn Juice versus the Decay.
Finn Juice. Decay is what, Crazy Steve and
Black Taurus.
Black Taurus. Yeah, that actually might be a little sleeper of a match. The fact that Crazy Steve is still considered legally blind and wrestles in pro wrestling is just amazing to me every time I watch him in the ring. So, but I'll go Finn Juice with that one.
I'll go Decay.
I'll go Finn Juice.
Finn Juice.
So now we're on to the regular card. Impact X Division Championship. Trey Miguel, the champ, versus Laredo Kid versus Steve Macklin.
This will be match of the night.
Yeah.
Thursday night, Macklin and Laredo Kid had a hell of a match. Laredo Kid, if you haven't seen him wrestle, he's tremendous. One of the best luchadors out there. He had a really good match with Kenny Omega back earlier this year. So yeah, that'll be a hell of a triple threat match, and I'll go with Trey to retain.
Trey.
Matt Cardona versus W. Morrissey. I've been telling this story for a little bit now.
Yeah, 2
Superstars rematch.
Yeah. I'll go with Morrissey. I still like what they're doing with him in Impact. And given his size and look and everything, he's good. He's in a good place mentally and everything. I'm happy he's back in wrestling and doing good and is healthy and everything else. But I'll go with Morrissey here to pick up the win.
I'll go with Cass. Morrissey.
Yeah, I like what they've been doing with Morrissey. I think that they'll continue the momentum with him.
7 feet tall. You can't teach that.
Rich Swann has a match, but just to be announced his opponent, so we'll just skip past that one.
I thought I saw he's they announced who he was wrestling, and it's slipping my mind right now. I can't remember who. It'll be a decent matchup too. I'll see if I can find it. But
Chris Sabin versus Ace Austin.
This will be a hell of a match. I know, Chris. I know you're really high on Ace Austin.
Yeah.
I like his look and presentation. The dude can go in the ring. There's no doubt about that. And Sabin is as reliable as you get in pro wrestling. So yeah, that's another one that could be match of the night. I'll go with Ace Austin.
Listen, your next champion is Josh Alexander, right? I mean, that's just given off of the whole situation that we're in right now. The champion after that, my money's on Ace Austin. This dude is the future of Impact. Future championship material. Has a bright future ahead of him. Like you said, he can go in the ring. I'm going Ace Austin.
Ace Austin, all the way.
We got Heath and Rhino versus Violent by Design, Eric Young and Joe Doring.
Yeah, this is a continuation of the storyline from Bound for Glory when Rhino came back, tagged up with Heath, partnered back up with him. The story since then has been good. They had Eric Young come back when people thought he was still injured and take out Rhino and Heath. So good, lower the mid-card feud in the tag team division and that. I'll go with Heath and Rhino.
I'm always going with Heath. Mr. I got kids.
I don't care about this match. There's people in this match that I just don't care about. But
Rich Swann is wrestling Brian Myers.
Okay, we'll go through that next. I'll go with Heath and Rhino.
I'll pick Violent by Design for the 50-50 book.
So Rich Swann versus Brian Myers.
Swan.
I'll go Myers.
Swan.
All right, go into the Impact Tag Team Championship. Good Brothers versus Bullet Club. Chris Bay and Hikuleo.
This is interesting because the Good Brothers have had the belts for a while. They won them back from Finjuice. The Bullet Club version of Hikuleo and Bay seems to be a United States-based thing because they've also been on New Japan Strong. So I don't, see them worrying about losing the belts and taking them over to New Japan. So I could see them. I'll go with Bullet Club here.
Bullet Club.
Bullet Club was my pick at Bound for Glory, and since they're on the back, I'm going Bullet Club.
My feelings about the Good Brothers. Bullet Club.
You don't miss them?
Hell no.
All right, next up, Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Champions The Inspiration versus the Decay, Havoc, and Rosemary.
So this is a somewhat of a quasi-repeat match from Bound for Glory. Inspiration. There's no reason to take the belts off of them. They just got it, and they're just starting their run. So keep it on them.
Inspiration.
Pour the sweet. Inspiration.
The Impact Knockouts Championship. Champion Mickie James versus Mercedes Martinez.
This will be a really good match. Mercedes was on Busted Open this past week, doing an interview talking about everything, her run to end in WWE, what she's been doing recently and everything else. But I think you keep the belt on Mickie James here.
Mickie.
Yeah, you keep the belt on Mickie right now.
Mickie.
All right, main event. Full Metal Mayhem match for the Impact World Championship. Champion Moose versus Eddie Edwards.
Moose and Eddie Edwards have been tied together in Impact for a really long time. They've weaved in and out. They've been best friends. They've been tag team partners. They've been bitter enemies, rivals. In the build up to this match, where you get the stipulation for Full Metal Mayhem. Moose and Morrissey put Alicia Edwards, Eddie's wife, powerbomb her through a table. So that's where you get Full Metal Mayhem.
Okay.
I think this will deliver. It's a good match. Even though it is a stipulation and Moose's, I guess it would be his first true title defense. Since the shocking ending there where he stole it from Alexander. I'll go Moose to retain.
Moose.
Oh yeah, Moose is retaining. You got
Moose.
That's it. That's it for Turning Point.
Listen, if you like pro wrestling and you don't watch Impact, that's a nice card to watch, to get involved and go, holy shit, these guys can wrestle. Like there's going to be potential for 3 or 4, about 3 or 4 show matches they can still show tonight. The X Division match is going to be really good. Saban, Austin, and then what was the other one that I said? I can't remember off the top of my head now. Going back through, Mickey Mercedes, but there was one in the beginning of the card.
Saban Ace, and then the X Division, the Trey Miguel triple threat.
Yeah. So, Impact. I'm telling you, man, it pisses me off every week that I can't watch it.
I'd like to know what they get to watch for these, because you either watch this on YouTube with their channel, their subscription,
or Impact
Plus, and then I don't know if it's on Fight, but I'd kind of like to know what they get for these, because I can't imagine it being if they're only getting like 70,000 for Impact. I can't even imagine what they're getting for these things where you got to pay for it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so there's that. Ring of Honor announced 2 matches for their December 11th Final Battle pay-per-view, which will take place in Baltimore. You have Jonathan Gresham versus Bandito, which could be a show stealer. You have the Briscoes versus the OGK, which is Matt Taven and Mike Kanellis or Mike Bennett for the World Tag Team Championship match. So that'll be a good one. And I believe also you have Kenny King versus Shane Taylor. So 3 matches so far announced for Final Battle. The Briscoes were at Dynamite on Wednesday night backstage.
I'll need to see them.
You said you don't need to see them?
No, I'm not a Briscoes fan.
Oh,
never been.
Really?
Yeah, they do nothing for me.
Those were the only ones that I wanted to come over to AEW.
I like the Briscoes.
All right, there's that. Let's see. Warrior Wrestling announced their card for December 17th. This lineup is nuts. The main event triple threat: Will Ospreay versus Trey Miguel versus Blake Christian. Just formerly released of NXT. I forget his name in NXT. He was in the breakout tournament. You have Dante Martin versus Bandito. That'll be nuts. High flying in that match. Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez. Aramis versus Flamita. If you haven't seen Flamita, go on YouTube and pull up some Flamita matches. You will not be disappointed there. Rocky Romero versus Casey Navarro. Another one that'll be good. Brody King versus Sam Adonis. And Chelsea Green versus Sky Blue. So that's a really good card for Warrior Wrestling.
Oh, you watch them?
So you can let's see here. Does it say? I don't think it says. I know tickets are available. You can go to their website. I don't know if they're on Fight or not.
Okay.
And then NWA is setting up their Hard Times 2 pay-per-view, which is going to take place on December 4th. They're starting to announce matches for that and getting that going. The women's world title, you have Camille versus Melina.
It's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
So more matches will start to come out with that.
I thought
on the road there.
Who Trevor Murdoch. I saw who he's facing, but I can see him, but I can't think of his name right now. So it was somebody from WWE.
Bearcat Keith Lee.
But yeah, the main event doesn't interest me. I'm not a Trevor Murdoch fan either. So like him as champ doesn't draw me in to watch the show.
I guess a couple other quick hitters here in wrestling before we drink a beer. Broken Skull Sessions. Jeff Hardy was announced to be on the next one. So that'll debut next week. That'll be interesting. Good conversation there. Have Hardy there.
2 is going to be debuting after Survivor Series.
Yep, that'll be out of the Survivor Series. Karrion Kross is back going as Killer Kross, and he was announced for why is it doing it? He got announced for the WrestlePros, or wait, hold on. Yeah, WrestlePros Killer Instinct event on Saturday, February 5th in Rahway, New Jersey. He'll be taking on Flip Gordon from ROH. Scarlett is also wrestling on that card. So the Smoke Show is back as of February 5th.
Okay.
So you'll start to see these release names announce stuff here popping up and start getting, hey, it'll next year again, it's something to look forward to. We have all these releases with 90 days coming up, and the beginning of the year will be exciting to see where some of these names actually land.
Yeah. It's a lot of that. One thing that I saw this week, Chris Dickinson, who's the United Wrestling Network champion, he's injured. He said that he dislocated his leg out of the rear of the hip socket. So it's basically a clean break in one piece. He's looking at recovery range of about 6 months right now. So
he wrestles on New Japan too.
Yeah, he gets around especially on the independent scene. So sucks for him, especially last year around this time they were supposed to crown the United Wrestling Network champion, but he got injured then. Took a few months off, and then they finally were able to get the match happening. He won, been champion for a few months now, and then United Wrestling Network supposed to have another primetime live tonight, so they haven't come out and said what they're going to do with the title. We'll see if that happens, if that's announced tonight, but they do. But kid just can't catch a break.
Nope. All right. Anything else for World of Wrestling? Yay, nay? Nope. All right, let's crack open a beer.
Chug, 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 chug.
All right, this week's Drink of the Week segment is brought to you by non-alcoholic beer is like a vibrator without batteries. It fills you up nicely, but without the buzz.
That's an After Dark quote.
I saw that and that was a pretty good chuckle for me here. So, Jay, this is your doing today. It's an actual beer, not some fruit punch bullshit.
Hey, I try.
So we have the brotherly Thelonious or Thelonious. Donald, you like this just because it has Thelony in it.
Thelonious.
You can tell Steve really studied Shakespeare in high school with that one.
Hold on, what's funny is I took Shakespeare 101 in college. It's a bottle of Bebop. I don't know what that means, but it's a Belgian style Abbey Ale. North Coast Brewing Company. They've been independent since 1988.
I do believe it's a playoff Thelonious monk.
There you go.
Yeah.
9.4.
Dag.
Yes, sir. We'll get this Saturday off and cracking.
Damn, Jason.
9.4.
Supporting jazz education. That's kind of cool.
All right, I'm with that. Hey, anything to help the kids out.
We know a friend. I'm gonna recommend this to him.
I'm enjoying the smell.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the smell.
9.4. Ooh.
Different.
Yeah.
For it being 9.4, like you don't get it's not like drinking a Mad Health where the alcohol content just punches you in the face.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like this is way smoother than what I was expecting for a beer that's 9.4.
Jason, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Me neither.
I don't like Belgians usually.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
oh yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, it's like they do nothing for me. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because this is a Belgian and an ale together. Maybe that's why, and the high percentage. There's some flavor going on here that, like, it doesn't smell like a Belgian. It smells like an ale.
Right.
You're getting that strong alcohol percentage in the smell and in the taste, and it's a good thing. You know, it's giving it a good flavor. Yeah.
But it's not a harsh drink. Like beers that are higher in alcohol content, you know what I mean? And we had the Timeless Traveler last week that was 9%, and that wasn't a harsh drink either.
No,
like that was, you were able to drink that, and you know what I mean? This, like I said, like I'm really enjoying this, and I've started to get more into Belgians since last year. So maybe it's just my palate liking, you know, Belgian beers more than what they did in the past, but I really enjoy this. I can't get over how smooth it is.
That's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
not like I'm gonna
palate a little bit because I'm getting the ale and I'm getting the hint of the Belgian at the same time. So it's like you're getting both, and then the strong, the harshness from the alcohol, like you said, Steve.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna pound these like they're Miller Lights, but at the same time, like you could drink 2 or 3 of these, and well, I don't know if you'd want to drink 2 or 3 of these with them being 9.4, but you know what I mean? Like I could have a couple and not feel like I drank, you know, 7 or 8 beers.
If I was sitting at a nightclub, listening to some live music, like on the bottle, and I was just sipping away at this, because this isn't something I'm chugging away. It's something I'm going to sip at throughout the night. I'd be content.
Yeah, you're at the jazz club. Your wife or significant other got a little glass of wine, and you're sitting there drinking this Belgian style Abbey Ale. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's roll. I'm already halfway through it. Let's roll around. What do you got? Oh, one gotta go is gonna be interesting because that alcohol is gonna kick in.
Jason, good.
I think just because it's smooth, I'll have another. This went down like black and gold.
You finished it already?
Yeah. Hey, if it's smooth, it's going down.
Give it about 10 more minutes, and that thing's going to give you an uppercut to the jaw.
This show is going to get interesting.
Mm-hmm. That wet shirt ain't going to be there anymore.
He's going to start removing clothes pretty soon.
No, I'm more than halfway done with mine. Like I'm gonna put that down because I'll sit here and I'm gonna go with a solid 4 on that. That was really enjoyable. I like that a lot. You more than made up for your 12-pack variety of shit that you gave us 3 weeks in a row.
What was it? The lemonade? That made up for it.
No.
Lemonade started. You started out well.
Yeah, and then you went into the negatives. So you had to bring it up to the lemonade and then surpass it. And I think you redeemed yourself nicely with this one.
This isn't a bad score for me. I think just for the little bit of Belgian taste that I get that turns me off a little bit, I'm gonna go 3.25.
This is good, but I like the Omni breweries one we had before.
The three.
That was
Heavy Ale, yeah, the Three
Philosophers.
Philosophers one, yeah, had that before. So I think that was better than this. I'll give this a 2.5.
All right, solid ratings there. I think you should try that if you're out and about. Whether you like L's or Belgians, it's definitely one that you should pick up and give a go. I would not drink it on Thursday with the family over. We already know, that could get interesting to begin with. If you're drinking 9.4% beers, that might lead to fist fights in the front yard. So stay away from this on Thursday. But I definitely pick it up and grab a bottle or two if you're out in your local beer distributors and they sell singles for sure. Pick that up and try that. So, all right, that's the review this week. We ask that you raise your bottles, cans, brown paper bags, red and blue solo cups, shot glasses, and to good ships and wood chips and ships that sail the seas. But the best ships are friendships, and friends will always be. All right, this week in sports here. Interesting week. Coming up, down the home stretch of the college football playoff. So we got games going on today. Ohio State and Michigan State are just underway. That's the top 10 matchup of major implications. Pitt plays Virginia at 3:30 on ESPN. If Pitt beats Virginia this week, they will win the Coastal Division and play for the ACC Championship in North Carolina in a couple of weeks. So big game here for Pitt. A lot riding on it.
When was the last time they were ACC champions?
So they played in it. What was it? 3 years ago when Clemson blew them out.
Okay.
Or no, not Clemson. Yeah, Clemson blew them out. Yeah. But they've never won the ACC championship since they joined the ACC.
Okay.
So they're going for they've won the Coastal before, that year. So it would be their second time winning the Coastal Division, but they've never won the ACC itself. So lot riding on this game today at 3:30. It's just good to see them on ESPN. Primetime slot, big time game. Kenny Pickett's still up for Heisman consideration. He was just announced this week as a finalist for the, I believe it's the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm, which goes to the top quarterback in the country. He's one of the 6 finalists. So a lot riding on this game for Pitt. So we'll see if Pitt's going to Pitt. Head on over to ProWrestlingTees.com and pick up that shirt. We have that out there. That's new this week as far as merch goes for us. But yeah, we're going to wrap up here, and I'm going to turn on that Michigan State Ohio State game. Ohio State was 19.5-point favorites.
Really?
How does that happen for a top 10 matchup?
No.
Top 10, 19.5.
That's
Because like the expert says, that offense is potent and that defense is unbelievable. Fuck out of here.
So we'll see that college football wise. NFL wise. What's that?
No other big matchups.
Let me pull up the top 25 real quick. That's the biggest one I think of today.
They had Wake Forest and Clemson. They were talking about Bama and Arkansas.
Clemson's no longer.
They was talking about for Wake Forest's point of view.
Yeah.
Top
Oregon,
25. Top
Oregon
25. Yeah, top 25 wise. Michigan State, Ohio State is probably the biggest game. Arkansas, Alabama. That's gonna be right. Cincinnati, SMU is an interesting game. Pitt, Virginia, and then this evening you have Oregon versus Utah, 3 versus 23. That's a de facto Pac-12 championship game. Mm-hmm. So Oregon got to win that to stay in the top 4 of the college football playoff. and that's on at 7:30. So yeah, that's about it this week. Not a whole lot going on matchup wise. So yeah, there's that. Also tonight on ESPN Plus pay-per-view is the Crawford Porter boxing match. I think Bud Crawford is going to win that. There's a lot of debate going on who's going to win that. So that's on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. If you want to purchase that. What's that?
The Top Rank Boxing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just looking to see how much it is. That's too many steps to get it for $20. Like, so there's that. NFL wise, tomorrow Steelers are out in Los Angeles playing the Chargers Sunday Night Football. You got Big Ben with COVID. I highly doubt he plays tomorrow night. There's been no player that's tested positive has played a game within 10 days of testing positive. Tomorrow would be day 8 for him since testing positive. So I don't expect to see Ben out on the field.
Watt's out. Hayden's out.
Watt's out. Hayden's out. Minka's out. Claypool practiced yesterday, so I would potentially expect him to play. It is, yeah.
Watson might be out. There's one other person that's out.
Jeez. Why even travel out there?
Next man up.
Hey, this is
Next
a
team
Tomlin,
up.
this is a Tomlin game that they win, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
You know, you lose to the Raiders at home, but yet you'll go on the road and beat the Chargers with
Nobody.
With nobody. Probably not a game that I'm going to tune in and watch, considering the shit show they gave me last weekend against the Lions.
And this is the meat of their schedule now. From every point on, every single game after this is just murderous road.
Yeah, you have Tomlin going 8-1.
Well, it would continue. They said he tied so he can continue his streak of not having a losing season. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, hey, they're still in the thick of it in the AFC North to win that division because they
AFC
still,
in general,
and in the AFC in general, right?
Yeah, and they're the first wild card team.
Yeah, right now they be in. If the playoffs started today, they'd be in. So they'd face the Chiefs in the first round if the playoffs started today. So that would be a one and done for me. But
who is your standout in the AFC? If anybody.
They was talking about this on the other shows and all that stuff.
Yeah, like
anybody because nobody's not standing out right now. But I'll just have to say Tennessee because they're still winning without Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they got some tough games coming up too. They play us. They play New England here. They got a couple tough games. And they have another game with Indianapolis. Honestly, for the AFC side of things, it's whoever gets hot at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Like how we saw when the Steelers won their Super Bowl, 2008, when they were the 6th seed. They got hot at the right time, finished the year on like a 3-game win streak and then got into the playoffs and rode that out and won the Super Bowl. Like, to me, I think that's what you'll see on the AFC side this year. The NFC side is so top heavy and so stacked. I think the 5th seed right now only has 2 losses. 5th or 6th seed right now in the NFC only has 2 losses. So, put it to you this way: Minnesota is 15th in the conference right now, as far as playoff goes, but they're 1 game away from being in 7th place. So it's super top heavy in the NFC. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
And what Steve called during the NFL prediction stuff we were doing Super Bowl, he said the Patriots, and the Patriots are hot right now.
Yeah. Mac Jones. Got him on my fantasy team. He's been helping me out since Kyler's been injured. So I was a New England fan on Thursday night. I'll still probably lose my fantasy matchup for the week just because the rest of my team is injured. Although I did pull off a major trade and got Najee Harris on my team. So just give me something to root for from a Steelers standpoint. Yeah, so a lot of football left to go. There's still, 7 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. We'll see how that plays out. Baseball had their awards this week. Bryce Harper won the Major League MVP award. Other than that, I think Tatis Jr. finished in second. And then the American League, right? And on the American League side, baseball finally got something right. Ohtani won, and it was a unanimous vote, which should have been the case. He had the greatest Major League Baseball season of all time. So there was no reason why he shouldn't have been unanimous player there. Penguins picked up a big win the other night, 6-0, Chris. They're still battling COVID.
After a shit week for them. They had 4 games, lost 3 of the 4, but yeah, it was a 6-0 win. Crosby came back on Sunday after COVID, so they play Toronto tonight. But the big news really on the Pens is that the team's up for sale. That was kind of like the big news for the week in Pittsburgh sports.
Yeah, Mark Madden was on Pat McAfee's show on Monday talking about it, and he said it's a good thing, which all reports that I've read up on it since it was announced that they were going to sell to the Fenway Group, which LeBron James is a part owner of. They own the Boston Red Sox as well as Liverpool over in England. It's being praised as a really good sell. As far as
a huge Liverpool fan, so I'm not surprised that he likes the move.
Well, no, he took his fanboy out of it and listed off legitimate reasons as to why it's a really good move. And they've been up for sale for a while, and Mario has waited for the right time and the right offer to sell to a group. He'll still be involved, not as heavily as he is now. He'll still be a minority owner. So you're not gonna not see Mario associated with the Penguins after the sale goes through. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Listen, they have a lot of money and they want to win, and you can see that by what they've done with the Red Sox and with Liverpool. So
spend that money, boy.
From that standpoint, as a Penguins fan, you got to be excited for that, because then that means, okay, they're going to spend the money and they're going to shell out to get people in here to try to win more Stanley Cups. Yeah, so if they're going to do that, I'm all for it.
Yeah, they need to shake this team up. There's too many good players on this team that shouldn't be better than what they've been the past few seasons. So
yeah,
I'm interested in seeing where it goes.
All right. Anybody got anything else in sports this week? What do you think of AB allegedly trying to purchase a fake vaccine card?
I think somebody's setting him up. The boy just got back to being Antonio Brown again, and we're going back down the AB route.
The Buccaneers, the Buccaneers issued an official press statement. They said that they reviewed and investigated all vaccine cards that were turned into them. They didn't find anything fraudulent with any of the cards, and all that information and everything was submitted to the NFL for each player that was vaccinated. So, I guess the NFL is going to look into this allegedly, but apparently AB Chef, he's owed like $40,000, and this is why he came out and said what he said. So who knows?
It's an easy fix. You just look at the vaccination card, see who administrated it, call them up, and see the records.
Yeah, I don't know how all that works. I don't know with HIPAA.
He's good to go.
Nah, they could do that.
Yeah, so we'll see with that there. John Gruden is suing the NFL based off of the email schedule that led to him, being, quote unquote, mutual separation from the Raiders. I still think there's a lot more stuff to come out with these 650,000 emails that are sitting out there. we'll see what happens there with that. But yeah, that's it. High school football around here in the area had their semifinal games last night. They make those teams that won those games will make the trip down to Heinz Field this coming weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, to play for the WPO championships. That was always a good time back in high school, those games. Yeah, so shout out to all those young men that will be playing under the lights and down at Heinz Field. Kudos to them. Big upset in, I believe it was AA. Sarah Catholic beat Stowe Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big upset there last night. So yeah, we'll see if they get the rematch. I believe Still Valley won on the other side of the bracket. So they lost. They lost.
Yeah, they
wow.
lost. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because the running back broke his ankle last week. That whole
Yeah.
controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all right, but kudos to those young men that are living out their dream right now, trying to win a WPO chip. Yeah, I don't have anything else in sports. Everybody good?
Yep.
All right, let's see what trash Jason came up with for One Gotta Go this week.
All right, before we get into Jason's, last week we did television teachers. And across the polls, it was a tie from all the listeners. So if we factor in our votes, Mr. Garrison gotta go.
What's the tie?
Yeah, it was a tie between
All of them. It was a straight tie for all of them.
How does that even work? Nobody voted.
People voted. It was just a tie
for all four. They all got the same amount of votes.
That's what's wrong with the American education system, right there. That explains everything, right there.
What was our vote?
You said Feeney.
Yeah.
Steve, did you say Frizzle?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then me and Donald said Garrison.
You two bums.
Yep.
Hey. That's the way the world works, you know? Just like in the Senate, 51-49, baby.
All right, what do we got this week?
Good, Jason, set it up.
It's 2001, and you got to pick which game system got to go.
Ooh, you pulling out the sixth generation. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do like whole Xbox, Sony, Nintendo. I just want to go one straight era.
Mm-hmm. And they called and they actually call this like the best era of video game consoles that came out at the time.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go
the one before that.
I'll go GameCube. At this time in this era, I was playing PlayStation 2.
I
was playing PlayStation 2.
What did you fall off the wagon?
When I moved in with my brother and he made me buy an Xbox. I was a PlayStation guy. Through and through. And then he made me buy an Xbox. When I moved out, he kept the Xbox. And then, I started dating my wife and that, and my son has been an Xbox kid since he was little. So I had no choice but to fall into the Xbox realm. And then I wasn't paying the prices that they're charging now for PlayStation consoles. So I just never got back on the PlayStation tip. But yeah, I'll go GameCube. I never played GameCube, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox, PlayStation, Dreamcast. Yeah, so I'll say GameCube for me gotta go from the sheer fact that I didn't play any games on GameCube.
Dreamcast is so underrated. PlayStation is the best. I never had an Xbox, but I'm kicking GameCube off. I had a GameCube, but I just feel like that's where the geared toward the kids
started.
Yeah, started. Yeah. So I'm gonna kick off GameCube.
Donald, you said that this was supposed to be like the greatest generation of gaming systems. It would be the system before.
Mm-hmm.
So when you had N64, you had Sega Genesis, you had first PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my favorite era. You know, because I had all of them.
Yeah.
You know, so I had a Dreamcast. I owned 2 of these systems, but played all 4 of them. I had a Dreamcast and I had a PlayStation 2. Was always a Sony guy. I played Xbox in college because people had Xboxes. My cousin had a GameCube, so I played GameCube. I agree. Dreamcast was highly underrated. It was a good system. I enjoyed playing it. It just didn't have a ton of games. You know, it was basically a failure of a system, unfortunately, just because of, you know, all the games that they put out for it and just didn't take off.
A little more than that, but
yeah. Yeah, PlayStation, Xbox, that's not going anywhere. I liked my Dreamcast. I mean, I didn't have a GameCube. I'll take off GameCube.
3 for 3.
wow.
Sorry, Smash Brothers.
I have all the systems but Xbox. Dreamcast, I can never let that go. That was one of, like everybody said, underrated. It had so many fun games. That version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast is still the best to this day. PlayStation 2 is king of the era, might be king of all the systems. There's only like PS2, Super Nintendo, and the PS4 are like the 3 top video game systems of all time for me. I had a GameCube. I rarely played it that much, except for Smash Brothers, which I love. But I love the color of the GameCube. Like the color was deeper than any of the systems on there. The Xbox, I really didn't like the Xbox because of the controller. The controller really turned me off to the whole system. So just for that, the Xbox has to go.
Gotcha.
All right. Not bad. Three against 1. We'll see if that vote holds up, and GameCube is the one that ultimately has to go.
If I had to guess, I'd probably say people that are gamers might get rid of Dreamcast. I have a feeling that might go because I don't think enough people had that system back in the day.
Gamers really loved the Dreamcast. It was just unfortunate timing for them with the PS2. But the PS2 had the DVD player in it. The Dreamcast didn't because it was before its time. So that's what really hurt it. Then you could burn, their games just like straight off a CD burner. So that really hurt sales.
I did not know that.
Okay.
I wish to the age of like the typical viewers we get to even think, would they even not know these, but have much experience with all these.
Yeah.
Right. Most of them, this was their first system, like the younger crew, like this generation.
And then when you were younger, you only had one or two.
There weren't multiples in the household.
Yeah, you weren't. So
it was
not your lifelong, whatever you picked.
Yeah, you were lucky. Mm-hmm.
It was the same. I had PlayStation, the original PlayStation, and then the PS2 I bought off of a dude that I worked with that didn't want it no more. I bought it for $200, and it came with both controllers and like 7 games. So like, yeah, deal. Deal. Yeah, deal. Yeah,
Williams has a skit like that.
Yeah. So, but the PlayStation 2 for me is my all-time favorite console. I go PlayStation 2, Sega Genesis, original Nintendo. Yeah.
Oh, we're putting in our systems. Like, no.
Yeah. Right here. Right here.
Still got the memory card slot tag filled up. Like kids today don't know what a memory card is. They're like, what is that? Well,
when that bad boy went corrupt, talking about anger.
Yeah.
All your college season trophies and all that stuff gone.
Gone.
One of my friends in high school, I'd give him my memory card. He would buy a game, beat it like within a day or two. So he'd have like all the downloadable content and everything, that you won in the games. And I just passed my memory card to him, and he'd upload everything on there.
Yep, and copy. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, not a bad choice there, Jay. You're 2 for 2 today. You had a good beer and a good one. Got to go. So
I do what I can. I show up when I do.
All right. Anybody got anything else before we wrap up and get into final thoughts for the show?
No. Let's do it. right, guys, thanks for tuning into episode 63. Before we send things home, just a couple of things. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you get notifications when we go live. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DumbMarksPod. Don't forget that our audio-only edition of the show is available on demand on all your favorite podcast platforms. And make sure you support the show by telling a friend and also purchasing our official merchandise at prowrestlingtees.com/DumbMarksPod. And here's a little graphic of some of our new merch that we got out. This upcoming week, there's going to be a Black Friday sale on Pro Wrestling Tees. All of our merchandise is going to be 20% off from this upcoming Tuesday, November 23rd at 1 p.m. Eastern to Cyber Monday, November 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be a lot of sales on their website, so check that out for more, but our merchandise will be 20% off.
Yeah, and it's not just shirts. You can get hoodies, long sleeves, women's apparel. So there's all stuff on there, more than just T-shirts. So given the wintertime coming up, great Christmas gift. Support the show. You buy a shirt, we'll shout you out and read off on air there. So, yeah. All right. Anybody got anything else? I got a couple things. Go ahead, Chris.
Yep. So last Sunday, Steve, was Adele's concert on CBS. Running 9.9 million viewers.
Trash.
I ordered a shirt.
There's something WWE wishes they got. It was 9.9 million viewers. Her album 30 came out yesterday. Good album. Listen to all of that.
I ordered a shirt to wear on the podcast, and guess when it's coming? After we log off. Tune in next week. Right, piss Steve off the whole show.
You won't be here next week.
Yeah, you're taking another Lesnar Day next week. What are you talking about, dude?
Hey, I'll go live from somewhere.
Showed in from work.
Live from the landfill where that shirt needs to be put.
I just have three quick gaming things. Sony announced that they are going to hold production on the PS5 for a little bit because they don't have pieces to the system to make. So there you go. Thank you, COVID.
Good luck trying to get one at Christmas time without paying $3,000.
Yeah, definitely good luck. Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy Definitive Collection came out last week, and it's a total mess. Big time mess. Real big mess. But Rockstar finally announced that they're sending updates to patch and fix all of the games on there. So
is it disc based? Or
disc?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I haven't seen it anywhere.
I haven't seen it in disc or anything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then finally the whole Activision nonsense that's been going on. They found out that the CEO was taking part in all of the the fun fraternity brother games and all that stuff. So they had a big walkout at their system. And then Sony and Microsoft talking about, I'm not sure if they're actually going to do it because it's going to be a lot of money lost on them, talking about not having any of their games on their platforms at all.
I'd have to see the list of games that are on that.
Call of Duty's the biggest one.
Okay.
Oh, Activision.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, why was I thinking Blizzard? Well, damn.
That's them too. I mean, they're
That's
the same company.
Same company, yeah.
Same company. Mm-hmm.
Halo, the multiplayer came out on Game Pass. The single version or the single player version, that'll be available December 4th on Game Pass. So I'm gonna wait till that comes out because I can't play multiplayer. I'll get murked. Like it won't even be fun. Like it won't even be fun. So I'll wait till the 4th to download, the story mode and play the single player with that.
That Game Pass is tempting me to come to your side.
Dude, the Game Pass is where it's at, man.
I'll probably buy a digital.
Like, yeah.
Donald, you still got that one laying around the house?
Oh, it's here. Oh, the person knows that Monday is it. Time is ticking. Either price go up or I call my buyers.
Some
got the video proof right here.
some quick hitters, TV wise, and that I saw that caught my eye this week. Netflix announced that they are doing a 10-episode series called Blockbuster. So it's about it's a comedy series starring Randall Park. You know him from WandaVision and some other things. Yeah, hilarious. that'll be funny. It's just the irony with Netflix greenlighting a blockbuster series is pretty funny, considering that was pretty much the end of Blockbuster's run. So I saw that.
They're taping it at the last remaining Blockbuster, right?
Yeah, believe so. Yes. There's that Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special that'll be on tomorrow night on PBS. So one night only. Other than that, you have to catch it on Apple TV. So there's that there. There was an announcement made by Joey Fatone from NSYNC. So this ties into your Adele one night concert, but they're doing a very boy band Christmas on ABC December 6th. And it will be NSYNC, Boys to Men, O-Town, New Edition, 98 Degrees, and New Kids on the Block. So let your wives, girlfriends, and mothers know.
Well, I'm gonna be there too. Shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there too. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm gonna be there for sure. Like yeah.
Ain't no lying. Right?
Yeah. So I mean, Boys to Men, 98 Degrees, and New Kids on the Block have toured together. They've done shows together. I bought my wife tickets to go a couple years ago. So that'll be there, but that'll be on ABC December 6th. So that'll be interesting. And
JT being part of NSYNC?
That's the question that I don't know. That'll be interesting to see if he is there.
If he isn't, I mean, that's just shame on him. But
yeah, but that's a solid Christmas special to watch. Like having all them, New Edition is good, to see. I wonder, Bobby Brown will be there. So like there's some wild cards and some X factors, you know what I mean? So tune in for that. And then a couple things that are unrelated to TV, but locally here, Kennywood, the amusement park, they announced plans that they're going to bring back the kangaroo. Which, if you grew up here, they never should have took it out of the park in the first place.
Yeah, it was only gone for 1 year. What was the point?
Top 5 classic rides throughout the amusement park. It's probably one of the most family-ridden rides as far as, family with younger kids and everything else. Huge part of my childhood growing up, riding it with my mom and dad and that, and I, rode it with my kids. So, like, glad to see that they're bringing that back into the park. And then there was an announcement made called Putt Shack. It is the world's first and only upscale tech-infused mini golf experience with global food and drinks are coming to the South Side District in the winter of 2022. So next year, it'll be between 17th and 18th Street down on the South Side. It's a 23,000 square foot entertainment venue.
Well, where I don't step foot.
Exactly.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Ready for that dress code enforced putt golf game.
Steve, you can pick me up. I'll go.
We'll be.
I don't drive Southside anymore.
Cold 9 to the red. I'm good.
Anybody got anything else?
No, I'm good.
Thursday, Thanksgiving. If I don't talk, well, obviously I'll talk to you guys before then, but enjoy yourselves. Eat way more food than you're supposed to. Have a coma, wake up, eat again. Jay, I know you don't bring anything except for the thanks.
I don't bring shit to the table. Not a damn thing.
It's horrible.
I ain't pray. I don't offer shit. I come in and eat and be out.
But no, enjoy your time with your family and friends. Everybody be safe out there if you're getting together, if you're on the roads driving. Again, like I said in the beginning of the show, if you're traveling, be safe. A lot to give thanks for. The past 2 years have been a doozy. So enjoy the time you can with loved ones and friends. For me, today, today is the 28th year anniversary of to the day that my dad passed away. So the fact that it's been 28 years is hard to believe. You know, a lot of things that were missed that I wish he was there for, but hopefully he's looking down and knowing that I did a good job. But you know,
definitely is, man.
Tie in, Chris. I know this one may be a hard one for you guys with it being the first one. It definitely doesn't get easier as time goes on, but it becomes more manageable. So you know, reach out to your family members, talk to them, check in on them. You know, give thanks to the time that you're able to spend with one another. So yeah, there's that there, and just wanted to mention that. So enjoy yourselves. Thoughts and prayers for everybody, and then close quote to end the show. All I want is a clear mind and a happy heart. And with that, enjoy the holidays. Stay safe. Love, peace, and happiness. Head on over to the merch store, pick up some merch. And until next time, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, tell a Mark. Y'all can catch us around the way.